Elise, since you advised Senator Paul on this, why do you believe the President of the United States is breaking the law?
Because he, under the War Powers Act, which is what the legal rationale that they're giving, he has 60 days to make his case to Congress and then 30 days to cease operations if he hasn't made his case. President Obama hasn't gone to Congress yet. He hasn't asked for congressional authority, and it's time for that to happen. It's way overdue.
And your count is 90 days since those airstrikes began in August.
Yes, it would have been August 8th, I think, to be precise.
All right, so that's your logic. Lanny, what do you say to this?
Well, remarkably, Ms. Jordan ignores what the senator actually wrote. He said even without the War Powers Act, meaning even if the 90 days hadn't expired, there is no constitutional authority for the president to act unless we are under attack at that time, meaning that if we know ahead of time that we're about to be attacked by a terrorist attack like 9/11, according to Senator Paul, the president may not act. And I don't think he's going to stand by those words that I just read to you. Unless we're under attack at that time, the president cannot act preemptively to stop a terrorist attack.
So, Elise,
he can't mean that.
What about this issue about preemptive action? Because the president has said that ISIS is a threat to the homeland.
It's not an imminent, he has not been able to say it's an imminent threat immediate now, which is what why can't he go to Congress and make his case? President Bush did. He did in 2001 for Afghanistan, he did in 2003 for Iraq. And you have seen what we're getting out of this, out of President Obama's failure to go to Congress, is really poor policy. We're getting ad hoc, events-driven strategy, or lack of a strategy completely, as President Obama himself admitted. We really need the public debate, and I think it would strengthen our strategy for attacking ISIS.
I guess, Lanny, what I'm curious about is, since, I mean, some people look at this and they'll say, okay, the law is the law, and you can always say that something is imminent. I mean, it's a slippery slope, right? I mean, you know, you could say, well, he said it's imminent and he's going to go after ISIS. He could say something else is imminent. I mean, in a world where the lone wolf is the great threat, does that present itself as a real risk to the American military?
Well, sure, but notice how Ms. Jordan inserted the word imminent into Senator Paul's sentence. There is no imminent. He said unconstitutional unless we're under attack, no imminent, under attack at that time. So no preemption. That's the words the senator. Ms. Jordan is probably unable to walk that back until she talks to the senator. I do agree with her that the president should go to Congress and get authorization. But it's interesting, in the years that Senator Paul has been in Congress since ISIS began its attack, he's never introduced a resolution of authorization himself, even though he says in the op-ed that he agrees that ISIS should be gone after. So, Ms. Jordan, why hasn't he introduced the authorization resolution himself?
Well, he's trying to get President Obama to agree to go before
Why
Congress.
hasn't he introduced the resolution,
That's what he's working about
Ms.
today,
Jordan?
by introducing the public
Simple
debate.
question. Why hasn't he introduced the resolution? Answer my question.
I can't speak for Senator Paul on that
You
point.
can't. You're exactly right, and I don't blame you.
Well, but here's the question, Elise, is that the president said, went to Congress when he wanted to conduct airstrikes in Syria a year ago, right? He went and he said, I'm going to ask for your vote. And then they never voted, right? They sat around and they never voted. So when you look at his position now, he says the nation's security is at risk. I don't want to risk that again, right? It was humiliating, and he said there was a red line and then he couldn't enforce it.
Well, I think right now he, though, would have a significant amount of support, so the political calculation would actually be in his favor, and I just don't see, frankly, what he has to lose.
So you're saying you think they'd vote yes?
I think overall they would vote yes.
So we agree on that, Aaron, and I agree, Ms. Jordan. I completely agree with you that the president should do that. He said he will. Yeah. But I just point out to you that Senator Paul has the ability to introduce that resolution. He says in his op-ed piece that we should go after ISIS. He has not done so, and then he says something irresponsible,
Lanny,
that a president may only act after an attack, not before.
How is that? Yeah, interesting. I don't think that we are seeing. Maybe you have access to some classified intel that I don't, which I don't think you do, quite frankly, because I think you're really pushing the boundaries of the legality here.
I'm reading the senator's own words, and you're not able to defend them, and I don't blame you. But I do agree that he ought to go to Congress and get authorization for this current ISIS attack.